Hello, this is the Timeless Tarot, and in today's reading we're going to be looking at the sign of Scorpio and what's ahead for the next 4 to 6 weeks on the matter of love. Now, the reason why I'm doing this reading is that the Scorpio reading I did for the next 4 to 6 weeks was very much family orientated, and so I wanted to put out a love reading as well for you, Scorpio. So here we are. At the centre of the reading, actually no, let's look at the bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck we have Queen of Cups, which is lovely because that's your energy. That is your queen, the watery queen. So in theory, you should be feeling good this month, I would say, or for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Things should feel like they're going your way. Now, if you've been in a situation where things feel like they haven't been going your way, I would suggest to you things are going to change for the better. So we'll leave that card there and see what else we get to do with that later. In the centre of the reading, we have the Eight of Wands, which is lovely. It's a card of communication. And because this is at the centre of the reading, it would imply that you probably are waiting for some sort of communication, or you're waiting to communicate with somebody. Potentially, you might need to find the person to communicate with them, or you are waiting for them to find you and communicate with you. That's what it feels like. And what's crossing that is the Lovers. And the Lovers is a choice, although seeing as this is a love reading, maybe this is a love connection. Now, if we look at that as the obstacle, why would a love connection be blocking the communication? I can think of a few reasons. Potentially, one of you may have halted communication for one reason or another. That seems like it might be a thing. Another reason could be that the situation might not have felt quite balanced, is what I'm getting, and or slightly uneven in some way. And so potentially one of you might be waiting, feeling a little bit awkward, waiting for the other to get in contact, because it might have felt to you that the relationship was a little bit unbalanced. Maybe one of you seemed to be more into it than the other. That's sort of what it feels like. If what is blocking the communication is the Lovers as a situation, that would be a choice. So it could be that somebody is choosing not to communicate. And sadly, that does feel a bit like a thing. That one of you has chosen not to communicate with the other, and so everything is halted for the time being. But going back to your Queen of Cups energy, I feel like things are going to start flowing forward because you're in your element this month. What's crowning the situation is the Seven of Pentacles, and this is a card of really reaping what you sow, getting what you want, getting what you're owed, getting what you deserve. And what you deserve, maybe you've waited for a long time. Maybe this has been quite a long time coming. It feels like this is something you deserve, and it feels like everybody can see that. That's an obvious situation. What is underneath, or what is underpinning the situation, is a Queen of Rods. Now, I wonder if you have some competition, perhaps, because the Queen of Rods is not your energy. Queen of Cups is your energy. What's underneath, maybe this is what's hidden, or what you don't know, or what other people can't see, or what isn't clear yet. And what isn't clear yet is that you are, I feel like, having to be more dynamic than you want to be. I think, you know, in an ideal world, this situation would resolve itself and come to you. But it feels a bit like you're having to do more, put in more effort than that. And that isn't sitting very nicely with you. You don't want to be the one putting in the effort, quite rightly. What's clarifying the Queen of Rods is the Ace of Swords. This is the card of truth and victory. It can also be the card of cutting yourself off from something. But aces are always divinely presented. So if you've had to step into a different energy, or you feel like you need to be more proactive, more dynamic, then you will be given the tools to help you along with that. The other card I took to help clarify that is the Four of Coins. And this is a card of clinging on a bit too tightly to something that may not suit you anymore, or does not serve you anymore, does not have the right purpose for you anymore. In terms of a situation, it feels to me like one of these is an old energy. So if you are generally very passive, if you are a passive Scorpio and you are used to waiting for things to happen to you, then it is time that you became more proactive. If you are a very proactive Scorpio, then, and you know, you push the envelope and demand to get what you're owed, and you know your rights and all of that sort of thing. If you are that sort of Scorpio, then it is time to take a step back and to settle into your more passive energy. So really it depends on your own character and how you have been operating as to what is the right way forward. It does really talk about changing the way you normally operate. I'm hoping that's clear. If you're passive, you need to become more active. If you're very dynamic and demanding, then you need to be a bit more passive, because you've got this truth sword and this is going to give you victory. So really you want to make the most of this victorious card, and not, where is it? Not cling on to an old way of operating, because that is not going to bring you the victory that you're after. In the past position, we have the Four of Rods. This is the Twin Flame card. So it could be in the past that you've been connected with somebody you had a very strong soul bond connection with. Might have left you a little bit unsure as to how things will proceed. I actually think we're going to take a clarifier for that. Why do we have the Four of Rods in the past position? Right, so to clarify the Four of Rods, we have Temperance. Now this is also a guided card. This is one of the angels in the deck, and this is all about balance. And I think this Twin Flame connection has left you feeling quite unbalanced. I mean, I've already talked about balance already, and I think it's absolutely knocked you sideways to a position where you actually don't know what you're supposed to be doing anymore. And, you know, that is a real problem with the Twin Flame because of the differences that it can draw up between people, that one is more experienced than the other, one can be older than the other, wealthier than the other, one could be more powerful than the other. And the balance, the interplay of balance can be a real problem if you allow it to be. And, you know, if you cling on to what you're used to, then that balance will not improve. You know, it's a real shame that the Twin Flame brings up so many differences between individuals, because the whole point is that you are the same. And so if you are in a Twin Flame situation with somebody and it feels impossible for you two to be together, that is because one of you is clinging on too tightly, generally to your ego, and the other is not fully recognising their own worth. So if you're the person who has not been fully recognising their own worth, then I believe this is the time to really demand the best treatment that you deserve. If you are the person who is driven by ego and you can't lose face, or you don't want other people to know, or any of those sorts of secret scenarios, then this relationship just cannot progress. That really has to be left behind. So either you are the person with the big ego, or you are the person recognising their own self-worth. And it's the two, and the interplay is the two of you coming together. I actually wonder if perhaps in the past you had, because this doesn't feel very past, this feels sort of quite recent, but what I wonder is if in the past perhaps you did not know your own worth, and I wonder if this twin flame situation has caused you to recognise that you deserve more. I hope so. That's what that feels like anyway. And that would be a good thing, because that would mean that you are stepping into your full power. And it would also mean that the decision is with the person with the ego. And that takes us back to the start and why you're waiting for communication. It's waiting on one person to make up their mind that their ego is less important than the connection. It's what it feels like to me. The future position, we have the Magician. This is the card of getting everything you want, manifesting your dreams, your ideals, your perfect life, your perfect partner, getting exactly what you want. And it, on the face of it, it looks like that's already started. To my mind, that's already started. This is a really good phase you're in, Scorpio, and it's only going to get better. Interestingly, what is in your personal position is the Tower. Now, if you're getting everything you want and everything is improving and getting better, why on earth would we have the Tower in your personal position? I can only assume it's because it's causing a massive upheaval for you. Possibly, I don't think it's one that you don't want. I think it's an upheaval you do want. I think, you know, this connection, because we've got the Lovers and the Twin Flame card, it's breaking down boundaries. It's blowing up old systems and routines and old relationships. And it is what you want. And it is going to get you everything you want in the end. But it is quite cataclysmic, I would say. It's powerful. And there is going to be a period of unease, I suppose, where you're not quite sure how things are going to move. But they are going to move forward. Shall we take a clarifier for the Tower? Oh, we've got two. Six of Cups, Ten of Swords. Yeah, you're leaving, having to leave an old situation behind. This is the card of, this is a soulmate card. This is an ending. This is blowing something up. So it could be that you have decided that this connection is not worth it. That you can't take all of everything that is going to drag out of you and you're not going to carry on with it. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it would be that you're going to blow up an old connection. It could be a really old connection. It could be somebody you've been with for a long time because you're ready for something new. So either of those scenarios are a possibility depending on your situation. The Ten of Swords is really a card about better tomorrows. It's like the killing off of something that wasn't working and the dawning of a new day, really. It's you're blowing up something that hasn't worked for a while. Something that's ended. Something needs to end in order for something better to come in. And it might not even be a whole relationship. It could be a way of conducting the relationship. So if you've been in a secret twin flame connection, because, you know, for some of you that does feel like a thing. If it's been secret, it's blowing up that and showing the world that this is a pairing that is worth working on. I think that could be it for a lot of you, that the situation wasn't working for one or both of you and so it had to change. For some of you, it could be blowing up an actual relationship in order to bring in something better. In the home position, we have the Nine of Rods. This is feeling like you can't take it anymore. You've had enough. The situation has to change. Well, we've just said that. Sometimes called the Wounded Warrior. It could actually have been making you feel ill, or you might have been ill. The amount of stress that you've been under could have really taken its toll. Let's have another one for the Nine of Rods. Oh. Page of Rods. That's the message. That's communication. Could be a child. These are fiery energies. I think the change that's coming is going to affect more than you. It's probably going to affect other people, is what it feels like. Or you'll be getting the communication through soon that's going to put an end to this feeling of really being hurt and wounded at home and everything being wrong at home. So maybe you're waiting on some sort of communication to do with the home. If that's the case, then that's good news. The hopes and fears position, we have the moon, which is interesting. You're hoping for more clarity. The moon is generally a sort of murky card where everything is not that clear. Secrets are sort of hidden or veiled. You're hoping for more clarity, or you're fearing a lack of clarity. You're definitely in a lack of clarity, but that is changing, because don't forget we've got the Magician card in the future position. Let's take a clarifier for the moon. Ooh. 2. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. That's working on yourself, your wealth, and by yourself as well. And the Seven of Rods. This is a card of being defensive. So you're defending your actions. I think what this is talking about is you've been very carefully preparing yourself for what is coming. You are still not quite clear how things are going to pan out, but you are ready. You've been working diligently behind the scenes and you are prepared to defend your actions. This feels very serious now. It feels to me like if you haven't received any communication for a while, it feels a little bit like you're scared actually of what's coming next. So you're prepared to defend yourself. It's not clear how this is going to, it still isn't clear to you how this situation is going to play out. And you've been stocking up on your resources and you are ready to defend yourself. The outcome card, we have the Ten of Rods. It's the ending of a bad situation. It's the putting down of a burden. It's like the Ten of Swords. We've got 2 tens here. They're both endings. And what I took to clarify it is the King of Swords. In terms of a situation, this could be legal. It could be that things are a difficult legal situation is ending. It could be. In terms of a person, it could be an Aquarius, Gemini or Libra man. Financially stable man. And that man could be helping you, actually. I just think I'm going to get another card. I want to get another card for the Magician. So we had the Magician, which is manifesting your dreams and getting what you want in the future. Why do we have the Magician? Or can we have a little bit more information on the Magician card, please, for the Scorpio love reading? We have, oh, lovely. We have the Hanged Man and we have the Two of Cups. So manifesting your dreams, in this case, is manifesting a true love connection. So in the past, we had the twin flame connection. In the future, we have the true love connection. And so something has shifted. Something will be shifting to bring the two of you back into union, is what that feels like to me. What came with it was the Hanged Man. This is after a period of contemplation and solitude where nobody was quite sure what was going to happen. If you think we go right back to the start where we had the Eight of Wands, this was the card of communication, and what was blocking it was the connection. So we've got some lovely, lovely cards here. And I think what it's talking about is that in order to get the connection in the right place, the right time, the right place, the right energy, the right way of working for you both, it has taken a bit of time to get here. So I think that communication is coming in. Communication was our starting point here, and that is key. It's a really strong connection. Could be a twin flame connection. It's going to progress into a really devoted, loving connection after a period of time. Now, I said at the start, this is for the next 4 to 6 weeks. And our outcome was the 10 of rods. So I would say that you should be getting some communication before 10 weeks. This is for the next 4 to 6 weeks, but I have a feeling that it might go beyond that. So if you are still at the point where you are busy manifesting or trying to manifest what you want, I think you might have a couple of months yet before things actually get to where you really want them to be. And where you really want them to be is in a true love connection. Well, Scorpio, this has been a lovely reading. I hope it helps. And I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe so that I can read your energy more easily in the future, which will help me to do more accurate readings for you. If you'd like a personal reading, then my information is in the description box below. But until the next time, this has been the Timeless Tarot. Goodbye.